Hi everyone. So I had a realization today that this process that we're all calling manifesting, well, it's not really manifesting at all. Manifesting is something that we're constantly doing. Our whole outer world is a reflection of what's going on inside. So we're just living, we're having thoughts, we're having belief systems, and we're creating that in our outer environment. And then so really manifestation is just a natural thing. It's just something that's happening. If you want to constantly create something, then you just have to think it and you just have to say it. And it's instant. Like we've all had those things where we've just said something, we've said it like 2 or 3 times, or we've wrote it down, or we've laughed about it with friends, and then it's happened almost immediately, especially those of us that have been working on ourselves for a while and we don't have like a whole ton of limiting beliefs that are in the way. So what is it that we're trying to do here when we're doing this really kind of proactive manifesting, or a process? And what it is that we're doing is we're trying to, in essence, just remove the resistance to have the things that we desire. That's it. We're not really manifesting. We're manifesting all the time. We're not even really consciously manifesting, because conscious manifesting is just like announcing something or visualizing something. We're really working through our resistance and our limiting beliefs and our lack of self-concept that are stopping us from getting the thing that we desire to have. And I personally believe this is part of our journey here. We choose what families to be born into. We choose our experiences early on as we kind of set ourselves soul growth. And then we go through our lives, and our desires are kind of based on helping us work through our limiting beliefs. So in essence, all we're really trying to do is get into a state where we don't have any resistance, because I've always felt that that's what manifesting should be. I know I feel like I'm in my ultimate state when everything's flowing. I'm in bliss state. I don't even necessarily realize I'm manifesting. I got into this state at the beginning of this year in January. I was in such a void. I just had this, hot, cold manifestation. And I literally took my quarantine before everybody else, and I completely let go of everything. Like I completely was doing like Eckhart Tolle. I was like really moving into a place of complete surrender, and I was waiting for inspired action. And all of a sudden I got into this bliss state, which I've been in before. And it's a state where you just feel you radiate, and it doesn't even matter what's going on in your life, because you radiate, you feel this incredible just peace, bliss, radiance, love, and just everything is just perfect, irrelevant and irrespective of what's going on in your reality. And all of a sudden, lots of things started to come in. And I didn't even realize at the time that they were things that kind of 8-9 months back I had manifested, or things that I at some point had spent a short amount of time manifesting and then kind of like dropped because new things had come in and I kind of didn't want them anymore. I'd forgotten about them. This was people, things. So I personally believe that is the ultimate state to be in. That state of bliss, that state of flow. You kind of have a casual thought about something and it manifests. It's that our world is in harmony because our inner world is in harmony and our thoughts are in harmony, and they're always thinking from a place of what we want them to think. Okay. So when it comes to kind of creating things, that's why I have kind of different practices for different things. And I just wanted to share with you some of the ways in which I personally manifest depending on my current situation. So for example, if it's something that I don't have a huge lot of resistance to, I find simply saying it about 3 times, or kind of a very, very short rampage and dropping it, pretty much always works. So say, for example, I set a speed camera off and I see it flash, and even though my deepest belief is going to be, I'm probably going to get a ticket because I saw it flash, I've generally found that it is something that I can drop very easily. So that I don't want a ticket, it's not the end of the world to me to get a ticket. It's not something that I'm going to spend every day worrying about. I'm just going to worry about it for about 10 minutes. And then I'm probably going to forget it until I get a note through the door. So I have done it with things like that. And I've just affirmed, my license is clean. That didn't even flash. That was an empty barrel. And I literally only have to say about like 5 sentences. And on various topics, that kind of thing has worked for me so many times, but they're things that I just never really had massive resistance to, and I've never really thought about them again. And then I've just reflected and I've been like, oh, wow, I remember that, and I never, that never happened. So when it comes to big things that you still don't have a lot of resistance to, like for me, that would be things like having a free property, having a new car. These are things to me that they're quite big, but I don't have like a hell of a lot of resistance to those things. So they've been easy for me. And the way that I feel those things work the best is a visualization, very Neville Goddard-y, of how it would feel to have that a few years down the line, or just mood boarding and, feeling that saturation and then dropping. I believe the Neville Goddard way that he does it is really the most effective for a stable outcome. Something that I know a lot of people say is they really have this thing about not feeling it. I totally disagree with that. Each to their own. I mean, I don't think you need to feel it with, say, for example, something as light as a speeding ticket or I want a free coffee today. I don't think you need to feel that. They're just things that are just so easy to just slip in. But for me, when I want something that means like a big shift, for me, feeling is the secret. Feeling is really, really key. And feeling is what I want to get out of it. At the end of the day, the free coffee, I don't probably really want anything out of it. I just want that moment of enjoyment and probably just confirmation that I'm manifesting and that I create my reality. Things that you want to manifest that are bigger, generally you want the feeling associated with them. Like when you walk into your house, you want to feel like, oh my God, I have my own house. I don't have to worry about mortgage anymore. Like I have the place of my dreams. When it's a specific person, you're in a loving relationship, you feel love, you have this really nice experience. So for me, the feeling is really key, because the thing that's going to keep it away the most is a feeling of lack. I think a lot of us think that love is that feeling we get when we're really like pining for somebody, or we really want something. That's not really love. That's actually a vibration of kind of lacking and wanting something that you think is out of your grasp. So here I'm coming into my kind of like trying to tie all these things together. So one of the biggest things is self-concept. It kind of gets missed a lot. And self-concept, I believe, makes the difference between bringing something in and stabilizing it into your life as like a stable thing. I think we've all had experiences where we've manifested jobs, money, things, people, and then we haven't managed to hold on to them. For me, I feel bringing things in is one of the easier things. you can totally do it through like what I would call aggressive manifesting, where people sort of just really, really focus on it and they kind of ramp the energy up and you bring it to a point. Generally, when doing that, I feel the best thing to do is to rampage. For me, affirming doesn't work really, unless I said like it's a coffee or something with really low resistance. I find that I just end up going very robotic. And because I have so many limiting beliefs in the way, I'm not really shifting anything. For me to shift something and for me to shift my self-concept and for me to actually like bring something in that's currently outside of my belief system, which a coffee isn't, I generally have to shift something inside of me vibrationally, which people don't like the word vibration, right? But I believe we have to shift something in us vibrationally, and rampaging can actually do that. If you ever had a really good rampage, you actually feel different. You almost can feel the cells in your body change. And that's why it's so good to include some self-concept things in there. So say, for example, it's a specific person, you know, this person absolutely adores me. They love speaking to me. They love being around me. They can't stay away from me, because I find it so easy to manifest. I have everything I want. Anything I want just falls at my feet. I am a master manifester. And anything that I desire comes to me, and anybody conforms, because nobody has free will, because I am the creator of my reality and people have to conform to my beliefs. And my belief is that they want everything to do with me, that they love being around me, that they're obsessed with me, they're addicted to me, they're crazy about me. You get the picture. However, when I'm affirming the same sentence, I feel like it's so easy to be like, SP's in love with me, SP contacts me all the time, my SP contacts me all the time. I mean, how can you literally loop all day and not end up robotic? I don't know, maybe some people can stay in that energy all the time. I still stand by that's not the ultimate energy to be in though. I find it exhausting. I find it tiring, to be honest with you, but I'm not going to say it's useless, because I think it does have its uses. It has its uses that it's changing your self-concept. We speak what we are into being. And as long as you feel it and you really go for it. Another thing of changing your self-concept, you know, not just about your self-worth and that you have everything you desire, but for example, I'm super messy. I'm never going to say that again, by the way. I've always got stuff out like paints, and then I do my plants, and like I have so many things on the go and they're all individually messy. And I don't really do something and then pack away. I'm just like moving around the house, like creating new areas. And then all of a sudden I'm like, oh my God, I've got a massive job. And I guess then everybody, including my parents, gets used to thinking of me as messy, and everybody keeps like affirming it. And it's only recently that I thought, you know, I can change my self-concept of who I am. So now when I wake up in the morning, I just have a little mini rampage with myself about how, you know, I'm so flaming tidy. Like everywhere I go, I just tidy up after myself. Being tidy comes naturally to me. I'm just a tidy person. And if you say it with enough force, I'm not doing that now. I would go a lot more forceful with myself. Then you're actually kind of, I don't know if you can feel it, but I can feel like the inside, I can almost feel my cells rearrange themselves. And I did see very clearly when I've had out of body experiences that the voice and sound is the beginning of creation. But I really believe it has to be said with feeling, it has to be assertive, you know, not just this robotic repetition of things. For me, that does nothing. Maybe it works for other people, because it's not really changing you. If you have very low resistance, yeah, I think it can work. But if you really want to change something, then you have to change your self-concept and your belief systems, which is really what this kind of scripting, rampaging stuff is doing. The actual art of bringing in and manifesting, I believe, is the just going to sleep and looping a visual of how you would feel in that scene with that thing 2 years down the line. If you don't have crazy resistance, then I believe that is really the way. It's a calm way too. Like when I'm manifesting like that, I feel calm, I feel loving, I feel relaxed. When I'm going on like a rampage, or I'm what I would call like push manifesting, I don't feel that kind of open space, amazing, peaceful love vibe. I feel ramped up. Which, you know, if you want to bring something in, you want to change your beliefs, you want to change your self-concept, I believe that's where the work is. And I'm not saying that it's not worth it to do those things when you can see that you've got a lot of resistance and limiting beliefs. But ultimately, I believe in manifesting as being a much more simple process of just visualizing calmly or living in the end of your wish fulfilled, feeling into it as you sleep and allowing it to unfold. You can actually feel when you've done it. When you visualize successfully, you get a feeling of complete and utter fullness. You radiate, you feel like you're done. You're just like, it's done. There's no question. If you don't know if it's done, it's probably not done. I find that when you visualize successfully and it's going to be almost instant, you kind of get this feeling of, it's like a fullness. It's like you just know that that seed's been planted and it's going to manifest. And if you don't have that, then that's when I think some of this stuff can be really useful to help shift you. So my final point is about it feeling natural. So whenever we pedestal something or we think of something as special, unique, rare, hard to get, hard to keep hold of, oh my God, you know, especially those of us that have been on a soul connection journey, oh my God, I'm never going to have these feelings about anybody else. Like, they're so unique. We're just putting so much, we're kind of making it we're pedestaling it, this thing that we want, rather than seeing it like that's the beauty of the visualizing the 2 years down the line in first person, is you're getting the right feelings. You're getting the feelings as if you've actually had that thing for 2 years, which is a very different feeling to, oh my God, he's calling me all the time. He's calling me all the time. Like, oh, you know, we're just, been on a day trip. It was amazing. Like, it was so loving. We had such an amazing time. That's such a different energy to, he's calling me, he's calling me, he's calling me. And you've got to kind of be really honest with yourself. And this just takes like a lot of self-reflection, I find, of really observing where you're actually at with your stuff. Like, is it normal and just normal thing for you to have your desire? Because all men love to be committed to you. They all want to marry you. When you meet somebody, they always want to go into like a committed relationship. It's normal for you to sell your art. It's normal for you to earn money. It's normal for you to have like a lot of money in the bank. The feelings associated when it becomes normal is very different to that grasping energy. Like, if I was selling paintings, like £2,000 paintings every week, then I would just be like, oh yeah, I sell paintings every week. I'm so grateful. Like, it's amazing. Like, I'm so thankful to be able to do what I love. I'm not like, oh my God, I sold a painting. Like, you know, so that to me is the difference between bringing it in. I believe you can bring it in with sort of like a push manifesting, and a real push in shift of self-concept. But if you've not truly changed your self-concept enough to know that you deserve those things are normal, those things are just, it's a normal expected thing that you have that money, that you sell that art, or that kind of, that specific person's in love with you and is committed to you. If those things don't feel normal to you, you're probably going to have to do some more work, right? Which is all that we're all doing. We're all just working towards those things feeling more and more normal. So I hope this helped anybody. This is kind of my process of where I've gotten to with my manifesting and the things that I feel work the best for me. Let me know if you have something similar, and mwah.